because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow?
And then that's also the issue. People think that when you're beautiful, it means you've done something good morally. Moralize beauty to think that that is a good thing. So when people have straight hair and so when people are light skinned, we're like, oh, they're good people, because we've moralized these things as being good, because we still at the end of the day think that whiteness is a good thing, an innately good thing. It's a mess.
Sometimes it don't make no sense. Does it really have to? There is nothing I can say.
Hi, welcome to Mayowa's World. Today I want to make a video about how texturism is linked to spirituality. So for those who are new on my channel, I talk about colorism, featureism, and texturism. Today we're going to be talking about texturism, which is the discrimination of kinky hair types. So if somebody who has a hair type like mine, somebody whose hair type would be considered 4C hair, just a kinky, coily hair type. You know, when I think about texturism, something that we don't discuss is how texturism is often linked to morality. People really believe that if you have a looser hair, it is a sign of you being a better person. And it's simply because we think proximity to whiteness and the closer you get to whiteness is good, and the farther you are from whiteness is bad.
Show yourself friendly, and then you will have friends. All of you will be carrying natural hair about. Who natural hair help? Okay. You better wear your wig. I mean, like this. And be flipping it. Go and spend that money on hair. Draw your brows, buy lip gloss, look good. Natural hair is not selling markets.
Which is similar to why you see people who, whenever they draw devils, they usually draw the devil to be black, or how we use language when we say this person has such a dark energy, or they're so dark. You know, you say a dark time, and dark is always used as bad. So like these languages show that we really have like a access of where whiteness is good and darkness is bad. And people really believe that kinky hair or having 4C hair is a sign of corruption, disobedience, and badness, which is actually what colonizers said when they came to Africa, is that they felt like our hair in its natural state was considered bad. So that's why in Africa, a lot of times they were forcing us to shave our head, not only for like the idea of wanting to humiliate you and strip you of your beauty and how you find yourself, but also to remove you of the badness. And interestingly too, in boarding schools in Africa, they require you to have, to shave your head. So in a lot of schools in Africa, like public schools, young people are required to shave their head. But if you're mixed race or have a looser hair texture, you are actually allowed to keep your hair long. And that's because they feel like that hair has value. But our black kinky hair does not have value.
The fact that white girls here can go to school and not have to cut their hair, but black girls have to cut their hair when they're so young. Yeah, like your hair is so much a part of your identity. So for you to cut that off, that's the first thing they did to the slaves when they got on the boat, is they cut their hair. And I'm a psychology major, so I understand what that does to someone mentally. If you want to break them down, you want to strip them from their identity. You want them to feel that they have the sameness. Whereas I don't even think, if I had to cut my hair when I was younger, I don't even think I would be who I am, because through that creativity and like doing different styles with my hair, I feel like I've been able to shape my identity. So I feel like when you strip young Ghanaian girls of that freedom as a young black girl to grow their hair, it's a problem. And it also creates this dimension of like, if you come from a wealthy family, you can go to a school that won't force you to do it.
Yes.
But the schools that force you to do it. So then you have all this.
And I feel like this is also what fuels the rise of people perming their hair and wanting to have straight hair, is because people think straight hair is neat and neatness is a form of godliness. So I saw this clip of Louis Farrakhan, and I saw this years ago, and I've always wanted to talk about this because I feel like there's a lot in what he's saying, but essentially he is tying in the kinkiness of our hair to being a form of evilness and punishment. And I think it's very interesting from someone like a Louis Farrakhan, because because just like a lot of spiritual leaders, Louis Farrakhan is a light-skinned man. And something that I noticed within, like, it's not even, I'm not even coming for only Abrahamic religions, actually. I would even say within African spirituality, a lot of the leaders or people who are listened to, they will be having light skin. And I think it's just something, I think it's really just like leaning into the idea that light skinned people are closer to God because of the axis I'm talking about where whiteness is closer, because so many light-skinned people are in positions of power when it comes to religious reasons. Like there are so many stereotypes of like light-skinned women who have crystals and locks, and like they're gonna start having like a spiritual course or something. Like we should all be able to just kind of see that. When it comes to colorism and people who are often seen as like pastors or significant figures within African spirituality, you also see the same whitewashing, light-skin washing that happens too. You will see that when it comes to like quote unquote feminine orishas, they often depict them in with light skin. Take, for example, Oshun is often depicted as a light-skinned person or light-skinned woman. Same with Yemoja, is often depicted as light-skinned. But keep in mind, as Nigerians, predominantly, majority of Nigerians are dark-skinned people. But we still find a way to bring light-skinned people into our African spirituality, which just shows how colorism has touched every single facet, even the ones that you think it doesn't. And even too, when you see like a lot of masquerades, I've seen like Igbo masquerades and Igbo masks and stuff like that. And the mask will be completely white or yellow. And people say, oh, it's because of, no, it's because of colorism. Yeah, it is. Because light skin is always seen as beautiful, even if it's completely rare and not common in Nigerian culture to have so many light skinned people depicted as those things. People will still find a way. Another byproduct of colonialism is the demonizing of hair on men and the gendering of hair.
Not true tonight. It's still a shame for a man to have long hair. Because 2 Corinthians 11 is still in the book. Amen?
And this comes because of the gendered expectations of hair and how men are not expected to have hair and women are expected to have hair. And that is a byproduct of colonialism and the enforced gender roles that happened during colonialism. But Louis Farrakhan is a light-skinned person, and you can see him talking to a congregation of all Black people. And in the congregation he's essentially talking about people's hair texture, a hair texture that he does not have because his hair is a looser texture. And it was just wild because the audience was looking like a lot of Black women. And I just wonder how they felt after seeing it. But let's watch this clip together and let's have analysis.
To the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to make a people close to nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said this is the origin of kinky hair, because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. Hair on your eyebrows straight, the hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you so busy frying it. That's why you so busy pulling it. Because your nature tells you that the kink because most of your family of other Black people on the earth, jet black. They didn't have no broad nose and thick lips and kinky hair. They were dark-skinned people, jet black. But they had straight hair, a thinner lip, a thinner nose. But we are marked as a different kind of Black person. And we were rejected and despised, not only from the circle of the gods, but we were despised and rejected by all the other dark people of the earth. This is why today Black people with kinky hair and broad nose and thick lips are rejected in every society. I want you to hear me well tonight.
So we're not rejected because of colonialism. We're rejected because we have kinky hair. I'm even struggling to understand.
Yes, sir. Why are we rejected? Because the essence of beauty is in obedience and submission to God. And the essence of ugliness is when you rebel against God. And when you rebel against God, in your rebellion, you are marked with a certain mark of your rebellion, which is the disfigurement of your internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement of your external self.
I mean, yeah, like to me, that sounds like something like a slave master would say. That's wild. No, it's truly wild. And I don't think that he's speaking from any spiritual text. I think he's speaking from vibes. But the fact that he feels comfortable to say that and to like continue this idea that we deserve punishment, or we are disobedient, or we are rebellious, like that's the same stuff that was like said about our hair. And it's like so clearly coming from, colonialism. I just think every group, every spiritual belief can really do with having critical analysis on things and having a lens about colorism, texturism, anti-fatness, anti-blackness, every group, because right now it's a lot of nonsense. And we're just speaking from desirability. And I don't think desirability should have anything to do with your spiritual practice. I don't think that people who are, and that's also the issue. People think that when you're beautiful, it means you've done something good morally. Moralize beauty to think that that is a good thing. So when people have straight hair and so when people are light skinned, we're like, oh, they're good people, because we've moralized these things as being good, because we still at the end of the day think that whiteness is a good thing, an innately good thing. It's a mess, but not surprising. And I don't really know so much. Like I'm not a Louis Farrakhan. I don't know a lot about him. So this is not like, I don't, I mean, I'm sure you guys are gonna be like, oh, why would you ever believe him? Because of everything. I don't know. I just remember seeing that, and I've always wanted to say like, yeah, that's like rooted in anti-blackness. Like, and, you know, even when you think about like pastors and pastor wives, like you just notice that a lot of pastor wives will have straight hair. And I remember this one girl, her husband was saying, I think her name was Heather. Her husband was saying that he knew that God was going to send him his wife because she would have straight hair. And it's just like all of that stuff. Yeah, it's giving, I haven't unpacked that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.